that shot early in the match. I think he was just trying to see if he could get lucky and make it, Jay.
You don't want to leave an opening for this Tiger.
No, you sure don't. Mark using more and more speed, more and more loft. He's getting the ball 7-8 feet down the lane in the air just to delay the roll, get the ball longer. As the lanes change, he's making his adjustments with speed and loft. He's trying to delay it. He's throwing it way down the lane in the air. Takes a lot of strength. Cross lane, easy spare for Mark.
Mark Roth, the only bowler in PBA history to earn more than $100,000 in 5 consecutive years. He did that 77 through 81. And Roth at the moment up by 13. Petey Weber's just 22 years old. He from St. Louis. They're the all-time PBA money leaders. And Mr. Roth with a chance to go over the million mark. Big draw.
I think Mark thought he had a split on that shot. The ball came in very sharply again, like it did in the first frame when he hit the middle of the head pin. This time with a little more speed, a little more loft, it stayed on line.
You see Dick Weber there in 4th place. Bo Burton. 2 men from St. Louis. And Petey strikes in the 3rd.
I don't care who you are. When you're playing the line that Pete Weber's playing, it takes a lot of concentration and a lot of courage, because a slight error to the right, the ball will be in the channel.
He's got that ball just eating up that right side of the lane going down there.
Sure does. Pete Weber on his fingers, wearing part of a baseball glove to protect his fingers. He's been wearing that about 2 months now, and it's because of the tremendous lift he puts on the ball. It just tears his fingers up. It protects his fingers. Back in the match.
Voted the Sporting News PBA Rookie of the Year in '80. This young man, of course, has come back from a drug rehabilitation program.
Watch how near the channel. Watch how near the channel. Right on the very edge. He knows it's a good shot. He's running it out right there. There's the man of the hour.
Roth rings the bell in the 4th, has a double. Roth up by 13.
Last night in match play, Jay, we showed earlier that Pete Weber shot the 300 game. He also just ran away from the field. He started out in 2nd place, overcame a lead that Brian Boss had of about 100 pins, and ended up leading the tournament over 2nd place by 323 pins and 355 over Roth, who was in 3rd. All comes down to one game. This is how the pins see Mark Roth coming to the foul line, and that's enough to scare anybody. Look at that power and lift. That's why the pin shakes so much, Jay, right there. I'd be nervous too. Look at them flying around back there. Trouble. All right.
I want to remind you to be with us next Saturday afternoon for the $150,000 Brunswick Memorial World Open. Earl, you and I and our NBC crew will be at the Northern Bowl in Glendale Heights, Illinois.
Right near my wife's hometown.
We'll be on the air at 3 Eastern Time, 2 o'clock on the West Coast. Boy, I thought he had a gutter ball there.
I did too. I thought it was gonna, but he's got a very difficult spare here. 210. The ball comes way down the lane. He got a little wider than he wanted it to. Watch it hang on the edge of the channel, right out to the very edge, way down the lane. A lot of revolution comes behind the head pin. Bad break. He was lucky to get the 8 pin out. Would have been really difficult. He's very unhappy at this point. And
He
I can understand
has
that.
won 4 PBA titles in his young career, but he has never won from the top spot, Earl.
I didn't know that.
He told me that last night. He had never won from the top spot. And he's fighting.
You think that's on his mind?
I do. I think he's fighting it right here. Down 26.
That and bowling Mark Roth. Oh, boy.
You're watching the fall tour, the PBA, on NBC Sports, and in uninterrupted coverage, of course, of our championship match. This week, 226.6 for Weber. He averaged 236.5 on the TV pair.
And he's very upset now. The lanes have changed a lot, Jay, as they progress through the matches. And as the lanes change, there is a slight disadvantage for the leader because he waits for those three previous matches to be finished before he can come over and bowl. And the edge goes to the player that bowls him in the championship. And Mark Roth doesn't need an edge. He's tough enough as it is.
Oh, a problem for Mark.
The important thing on that shot is the count that he lost. He got a 5 count, and he's put the count very close. Look at the aggressiveness of Mark. Look at the look in his eyes. Goes to the foul. Look at the tremendous loft. And the ball was late. Tough spare.
Oh, he got it. 1, 2, 4, 8, 10.
Pitcher perfect. Slide the head pin right over into the 10 pin.
I'll tell you, we'll think back to that one. If this one goes to the wire, that was a very big spare indeed.
Definitely was. Both players, very explosive players, each capable of striking, just continually striking. So both are aware of the other's ability to throw a lot of strikes. They can't afford to let up.
Roth up by 32. Pete Weber very frustrated at the moment. Roth strikes in the 7th. I was talking with Roth earlier today about how he comes to the line, Earl.
So, again, the tremendous leverage in loft. Mark makes most of his adjustments with speed and loft. If the ball hooks a little too much, he throws it harder and longer down the lane. If it doesn't hook enough, he sets it down a little earlier and turns it up.
Al Weber comes back. Pete was very frustrated here on Friday night, he told me, and of course that frustration turned to triumph when he rolled that 300 game in the position round here last night.
Big shot here for Pete Weber. He has to have this one to stay in the match. He's down by 32 pins. Could cut it to 22, and it's getting late in the match. This is the 8th frame. Really sent it out there. Didn't get it back. Very disappointed. The lanes are not reacting for him the way they had reacted when he practiced earlier before the telecast. As I said, they will change, and Pete is having trouble adjusting to that change.
I ran into him at the airport. He was picking up his wife, Dee Dee, who flew in from St. Louis.
He has to cover this spare. Have any chance at all. And he does. Fine shot by Pete.
The youngest of the Weber offspring.
And the toughest. One of the best players on the tour.
The strike in the 8th for Roth, and I don't need to tell the folks at home that they're sitting in on some history here. If he wins this match, he becomes the 2nd millionaire in PBA history.
You'll never see Mark Roth be quite this excited, and what you just mentioned is what it's all about.
He's really orchestrating this one.
Up on his toes. This is the shot that could lock him up. You got it.
Earl, earlier today you were talking with Roth on your Earl's Corner feature, and we hope to have an opportunity to be able to get that in this afternoon before we have to leave here.
At this point in the match, Pete is just going to finish out. He knows he's lost. Mark Roth is a winner.
Out of the wood at this point in the proceedings.
So now, Jay, we've got a new millionaire.
We sure do.
And a leader for Bowler of the Year. Mark Roth is definitely the guy that's everybody else is chasing now in the Bowler of the Year honors, the Player of the Year honors. Could be his 4th Player of the Year award right here.
This is going to be Ross' 31st PBA title. It moves him up farther as #1 in the money list, and it probably will move him into #1 in the 84 average list. He was 2nd coming into today. So it is a historic afternoon here in the Detroit suburb of Dearborn Heights for Mark Roth.
And a tough day for young Pete Weber, but he'll be around a long time and he'll win a lot of tournaments. I know how upset he might be at this point.
Well, we'll be coming back to finish things off here this afternoon as Mark Roth is our winner here at the Satellite Bowl. The all-time PBA money winners, and there is Earl Anthony at $1,257,000, and now Mark Roth over the million mark as Mark finishes things off here. He can still strike out and finish with a 6-bagger and a 243, a very disappointing 153 for Pete Weber. Well, let's see if Mark can finish with 6 in a row. All right, that's the way to do it. 243, Mark Roth, 2nd millionaire in PBA history. He talked it over earlier today with a man who won $1 million first go-round.
Today our guest is Mark Roth, one of the greatest bowlers of all time. Mark, your career has been fantastic. You're 33 years old now. What's in the future for Mark?
Well, since we just purchased a bowling center, Earl, it'll be about 3 to 5 years I'm going to bowl on tour full time, and after that I'll probably just pick a few tournaments here and there.
Well, now that you're into the bowling center part of the industry, you might say, what's special about it for you? I understand you're working with kids a lot.
Well, we're trying to set up a junior traveling league with 4 other bowling centers right now, and get the kids used to competition and maybe help them to get to the Olympics one day.
Well, is the fact that you've had injuries over the years, Mark, is that going to affect your decision to continue to play or not to play? I know you've had problems with your wrist.
Well, I don't think so, Earl. It's been in pretty good shape the last couple of years, and as long as I keep my hand loose before I go out to bowl and use Ben Gay with it to keep it warm, I should be able to continue for another at least 5 years.
There's a lot of stress on you, a lot of torque in that body when you release that ball. It's fantastic and a lot of fun to watch. But does it affect your delivery, really? Have you changed your game because of that injury?
Not recently. I'm trying to get back to where I used to really turn the ball over, rip the cover off the ball, and...
rip the cover off.
Rip the cover off and just try and stay relaxed and bowl like I used to, because after I had the problem with the wrist, I was kind of babying the shot, and it hurt my scores.
Well, if anybody can rip the cover off, you can. But today's a big day for you, Mark, in my mind anyway, because you've got a chance to go over the $1 million mark. Be the 2nd guy to do that, along with me, right?
Right,
and
definitely.
Also, you could win your third championship of the year today. It could lock you up Bowler of the Year. What, how you feel about that? You're a little loose or tight, or?
I'm a little nervous. I'm always nervous before the show, and what I'm trying to really think about is just go out there and just take it one shot at a time and try and make good shots and keep the ball in play.
If anybody can do it, you can, Mark. Thanks for being with us today. I really appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you, Earl.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark, congratulations, becoming the 2nd millionaire in the history of the PBA Tour.
Thank you, Jay. I think I'm in great company when I accomplish it today with Earl.
Well, you know, we were saying today that if you were to get over the $1 million mark, you were going to have to really do extremely well because of the people you had to go against. This was the toughest field of the year, I think.
For me, it was. I was fortunate enough. I didn't strike in the 10th in the first 2 games, and my opponents let me win, and I think it got me going for the last game.
Well, let's see if we can't get congratulations from the first millionaire on the tour right here.
Mark, congratulations. You've been friends for a long time. I can't think of a nicer guy to have it happen to. You're a great player.
Thank you, Earl.
Fantastic.
I appreciate it, and I know I'm in great company with you.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
We've got a beautiful trophy to be presented. Dave Kunak, come on right over here and present it for us, the tournament chairman.
Congratulations. I appreciate it. Satellite Bowl and the staff wish to congratulate you and hope to see you again here next year.
I will definitely be back to defend this. This is a great moment in my bowling career. Thank you, Dave.
And also here with us, Rick Green to present the check.
On behalf of Satellite Bowl, this is the first time we made a man a millionaire. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. I'll be back next year.
And we want to congratulate this gentleman, and congratulations to all of you. You've been a sensational audience. We're going to go out now and check things out at Hollywood Park.